Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity, and today I'm reviewing Hard West Ultimate Edition on the Xbox One. This is developed by Creative Forge Games and published by Forever Entertainment. So what is Hard West? Hard West is a turn-based tactical RPG set in a hellish Wild West world with demons, arcane rituals and satanic cults. The premise is you play as Warren, a young man whose life is turned upside down by tragic turn of events. These set him down a path of supernatural chaos and revenge, where he must brutally hunt down all those who have wronged him. The game boasts 8 unique story-based scenarios with over 40 combat missions, a dynamic cover system, shadow spotting, card-based special abilities, and over 40 historically accurate weapons to play with. And this leads me on to the gameplay. The game starts out with you and your family making their way to the promised land. However, after an ambush, your mother is killed and you are left with your father to set up home in a land you have no intention of staying in. Many years later, you are now a man and have fallen in love with the neighbour's daughter. It is during this period you start to learn the basics of the game and understand that this is a game of 2 genres. The first part is the story-based element, which is told using an isometric map which holds a variety of story-based locations. Clicking on said locations then gives you a semi-flexible choose-your-own-path text-based narrative. The choices you make here impact your finances, your reputation, and what buffs and debuffs you will collect. They are also your primary way of acquiring new items and new posse members prior to combat. Think of it as a Hard West version of XCOM's base, and you have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about. I really enjoyed this element of the game as it never felt padded out, and the individual storylines and side stories really help flush out the lore behind this game. It has tons of apocalyptic morality tales, mysterious strangers, deals with the devil, survivor's guilt and crazy cultists that all add to the game's Weird West feel. And because the choices here do affect the game's combat, you tend to ponder your choice more warily. For instance, through one of my conversation choices, I had found a totem pole that would give me a large amount of wealth. The catch, the demon guarding it wanted a human sacrifice. So, do I kill one of my posse and get funds to buy decent weapons for the next combat round? Or do I keep them all alive and have an extra character to move with, but with less weapon damage? The second part is the general combat, and this is where it really gets interesting. Before any engagement, you get to outfit your posse and fit them with a variety of weapons. Only 2 weapons are allowed, and this can be anything from pistols, rifles, shotguns, which are all historically accurate. Besides weapons, you can add health items such as alcohol, tobacco, or a variety of spices, and charms that provide a buff to stats, or an activated ability such as a zone wild health regen. However, it was the interchangeable card system that really makes the game unique. Removing the skill trees and class systems most turn-based games have, Hard West focuses on using special abilities in the form of playing cards that any character can use. Characters have anything from 3 to 5 card slots available, thus allowing you to create different character builds on the go. And these are really interesting abilities, such as Shadow Cloak for instance, which helps you regenerate health when out of direct sunlight, or Demon Form, which morphs you into an unstoppable demon for a few turns. The only issue with these is that a lot of the cards are hidden and tied into sub-storylines or unlocked after a particular mission. Also, card stash resets at the start of each different scenario, thus meaning you'll have to try and unlock them all again. Once you have your character set up, it's time to start the combat. Most of the time you are straight into the action. However, some engagements can be different in terms of starting location, or even having a setup phase which allows you to ambush unsuspecting enemies. These can happen as part of the main quest line or due to your storyline choices. If a setup phase does happen, you are free to move your shooters around indefinitely, as long as you don't stray too long into an enemy's cone of vision. Some missions also promote optional quests, which if you do, provide you with some great rewards for your effort. Another unique selling point Hard West has is the total removal of the Overwatch system. I was really surprised how quickly I got used to not having the ability for my characters to automatically fire on enemies, should they cross my character's visual path. This forced me to be more aggressive in my strategy, and in turn, I felt that made the combat engagements more tense and enjoyable. This also ties in really well with the game's luck system. Instead of random dice rolls to determine if you'll be hit, there is a luck stat. When a shot is fired, the percentage chance to connect is compared to the number of luck points the target has left. If the luck value is bigger than the percentage, the shot misses. But the target also loses some luck points. Now, if the bullet connects, besides damage, the target also gains luck points back, which in turn makes them harder to hit next time. This makes it worth your time firing even on a low hit percentage, as regardless if you hit or not, you are still reducing their luck stat. Flanking whilst reducing an enemy's luck stat felt great, and this was also partially helped by the game's dynamic cover system. While most of your cover is the standard walls, buildings and immovable objects, there are some elements that can be manipulated and give you more cover than it first seems. For instance, tables can be flipped over, hatches opened up, all ready and waiting for you to use. This means a careful examination of your environment is needed, as you may very well miss some good opportunities where previously they may have been ignored. Because of all these items, it makes the combat missions more engaging, interesting and flexible on how you, the player, wish to accomplish your goal. In one particular engagement, I entered up a setup phase, avoided detection and used my subdue ability on all various enemies to allow to complete the mission without a single death. Now you also do get the Scars of Freedom DLC. This is a new campaign scenario that revolves around a shadowy cabal of occultist surgeons who are capable, amongst other things, of augmenting the human body. Here's the thing though, instead of cards to collect and swap about, it's body parts. It's a great addition to the main game. So what about the graphics? The game's art style showcases off the dirtiness of the Wild West, whether it's in any isometric map or the combat scenarios. Everything is beautifully cel shaded, giving a Borderlands feel, and combined with a dynamic shadow system tied directly to how you play the game, it looks and feels wonderful. Cutscenes are presented in a rough hand sketch format that equally suits the game and its narrative, and the HUD is sparse to all but one corner, allowing you to soak in the beauty of the environments. Lighting and dust effects are done superbly, and with its dark, moody colour palette, it really does sell the Wild West feel. The only gripe I did have was not being able to zoom in closer on my character, and there was the odd moment in the heat of a large battle that I did get the odd freeze for a second. Overall though, there isn't much to fault here in terms of graphics. And now on to the sound. The sound is also done really well. From gunfire is suitably booming depending on the caliber of the weapons, the general graveliness of movement that helps you identify where the enemy is coming from. All these effects are music to my ears. Speaking of such, the music blends spaghetti western time sounds with ethereal tones that just works and really pulls off a mood of its own. Whilst the narrative is mostly told by text, the main storyline is told by a suitably gruff-sounding narrator whose voice effectively cements the weird West aesthetic perfectly. And this leads me to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase, and must own. My rating for Hard West Ultimate Edition is must own. This is a fantastically priced turn-based tactical RPG whose unique multi-character diverse storyline, great depth of mechanics and engaging enjoyable combat deserves its place. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £16.74 or approximately $20, and depending on your skill and patience would give you about 20 to 30 hours worth of gameplay to potentially clear all the storylines. Combine this with a choose your own path choice, flexible card system, multiple endings and that extra DLC, you can easily add another 20 hours to the game. If you like the Wild West, demons and turn-based tactics for the price, I really can't see why this shouldn't be in your collection. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.